Hey, I'm live. You're live. I just felt like going live. First of all, I wanted to share this amazing view, especially the sky. I mean, the sun is going down over there. But yeah, just hanging out here on the beach. Just to have my pupils pointed at the heavens is eye-opening. Nice, this guy. Can I zoom? Yeah. This guy packing down his kite equipment for the day. People walking the beach. You know. I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine, and then I listened to this. I watched this video, and I was reminded that I just wanted to talk about free will, and this video is not going to be necessarily of any value to you. So potentially, if you're looking for any value other than just being in exploring the unknown, this sky is ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, exploring the unknown. Then feel free to come on this journey. I was just thinking about free will and how we're not ever able to understand anything of it. I mean, I guess from a print absolute level, we don't have free will. But when I say we, then who are we, right? Who am I? Who is the thinker? What is being thunk? What is apparently thinking? It's like happening is happening. Life is happening, and we have an experience of it. And as soon as it kind of, and the human, it's like if we try to think about nothing, that's impossible, because as humans in the human experience, we are addicted to labeling stuff. So we will always that's the not only addicted, but like that's the human experience. So we will label nothing into something. So nothingness is constantly turning into something. But this something that we are experiencing, this form, this life, is really just after the fact. It's after creation. It's creation in form. It's what we experience and what we see. So then the question is, what is real? Is this real? And I don't have the answers. I really don't. This is reality as we see it, but it's not. It's just a spectrum of infinite vibrations, infinite spectrums that we experience, which I think is really fascinating. And I think it's fascinating to see how nothing becomes something, and we put, and we, I mean, and at the same time, like, it doesn't make the human experience any less valid. Like, this is not spiritual bypassing or whatever. This is just pointing, or just relatively, it's an attempt to put words on something that's impossible to put words on, I guess. So yeah, and in the video she was saying stuff like, and here's the thing, like we take responsibility of, or we create causes and effects that are not really there. So we identify with a person, like a persona, the ego, the person and the persona, our personality. That's the ego. Like the original meaning of the word person is a mask. It's a role that's being played out. It's an activity of consciousness. So we are activities of consciousness. That's why from the absolute perspective there's no free will, but from the relative perspective there's absolutely free will. And from the relative perspective, from the perspective that we actually perceive and experience, we are the main character, and the person matters. So I was just like philosophizing about this today, and kind of seeing that in my life I started, in my adult life, I started taking a lot of responsibility, personal development, and manifesting my goals, and I did that for like 7 years, and became quote unquote successful in what I did, and for like 7 years, and then the pendulum swung to the other side, and I realized that that life worked from the inside out and not from the outside in, which kind of how can I say this? Which kind of drains the relevancy of the person, because the person then is just it's an effect of a deeper cause. It's not the cause of everything. So I let go of the steering wheel, and I let go of trying to control all my circumstances and trying to control everything in my life, even other people and my mood and my feelings, and all of that things that I taught and was taught in personal development kind of fell away, and I just let go. And the pendulum swung to the other side, and on the other side of that pendulum, I can tell you, because I've been there, is just kind of hopeless freedom. Like Tyler says in Fight Club, losing all hope is freedom. Shout out Andrew Hales. And if I look back at the time, at the period after I kind of let go of the wheel, I could look at it and go, that was the most amazing time in my life, and I can look at it and go, that was the most horrible time in my life. It really depends on the current mood and the current level of consciousness I'm in, I suppose, or just depends on the perspective in the moment. And still I would go through emotions, and still I would identify with my ego, or sometimes get jealous or angry and happy, and but there's like this self-correcting system in nature. There's this healing, I call it a healing power, or just a mechanism that will always guide us back to balance, and naturally in life that's what happens in nature. And two, there's always like this mechanism that wants things to work in harmony in nature. That's how we're born. That's how it works from birth. So that worked all along. Like, it didn't matter if I had a lot of money in my bank account, or a lot of followers on social media, or holding stages and speaking in different countries, etc. Or if I was just smoking weed on the curb in Thailand. Hey Grace, and it didn't matter. Like the self-correcting balancing system in nature worked flawlessly either way. But I noticed when the pendulum swung all the way on the other side, where I just became a blob with no preferences and just like letting life happen in the moment, just being in the moment. It kind of turned into this like I forgot some of the cool preferences in my life, like the concept of delayed gratification, right? In life you can do certain things, like if you save and invest your money in good things, then you will later on have more money, like duh. But like short-term pain, long-term pleasure, and all of this, these concepts is kind of like helping the character, the action figure in life, the ego, the person, the personality, to kind of manifest its preferences. And I noticed that I kind of like lost my preferences, or my preferences was not prioritized. So I tried that for 7 years, just living the rock and roll life and just spending all my money traveling and sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And then I guess now, so that was like that was me talking about 7 first years and then 7 years after. And I guess because I just see life in periods of 7 years. My stepdad always talks about that, and it's interesting to see how, I don't know if that's just reticular activation system or not, but now it's like the next 7 years, and I'm kind of finding my balance in between those two. And really, it's like I started off my career believing 100% in free will, and then just doing everything and taking like massive action, and kind of creating a lot of physical results that would look like I was very successful, and that was what I told myself and told all the, kind of like that was my crutches. And then I realized life was happening from the inside out, and I was born happy. I didn't have to do anything in order to feel amazing, and life was happening through me and to me, and I didn't have to control everything all the time. So I kind of let go of that whole, and then I realized on a deeper level that there's absolutely no free will. And now I'm kind of full circle playing around with both of them in a way, where my experiences, I guess, or my understanding, or my level of consciousness, or whatever I can call it, life just is. And whatever we think, or whatever is apparently becoming, is what is becoming. Whatever is apparently manifesting is what's real to us in the moment. So that means if I feel like there's the me that's in control, and I can create my destiny and like be very like action oriented with my person, with the action figure, then that's apparently what's happening, and it doesn't have to be anything right or wrong with that. It's just what is. And it's like, it really doesn't, I have no, like, on a fundamental level, I can't even, like, when it looks to me like I'm doing the actions, it's still no free will. How do I it's like, yeah, it really is no free will, although it looks like I'm freely deciding. Where does that... So decision making is happening, but there's no person who's actually doing it. Does that make sense? It doesn't even have to make sense, because this is not understandable in our intellectual minds. Intellect, by the way, is also just another word for person or ego or personality. It's just a coherent, or a, yeah, it's like a consistent, it's like a story. It's a narrative that's kind of affirming itself, but it's really, it's a veil, it's an illusion, it's nothing. It's the nothing that looks like something. Just like I spoke about earlier, if we try to understand nothing, our minds will immediately make it into something. So so it's the, that's just what, yeah, you know. So life is just is. Hey Grace, I understand what you're saying, because we consider ourselves separate. Yes, there is the perception of free will, but when you realize you are not separate from anything, everyone is one. Yeah, then everything is just, it just is. Yes, exactly, Grace. You put it perfectly. I would love to see you make videos. I don't know if you do already, but I think this is just a story, but I have this utopian story, and I feel like it's a universal resonance with it, but I don't know. But it seems like it's something happening on a universal scale. There's a remembering of specifically what you just wrote, Grace, that we are one, or even before one, right? We are not two, but not even one. We just are, and it's a it's a mind-boggling, it's a mind-exploding insight. Yeah. So yeah, you know, going in and out of feeling separate and feeling united, feeling separate, feeling united, feeling separate, feeling united. The first 7 years of my business or my career, I felt separate, and I was like using that separateness to manage and control my circumstances and other people and emotions and business and my money and etc., etc. And it was a lot of work. I was just working all the time. and the next 7 years was like feeling very united and in lack of a better word, awakened, and but absolutely no productivity at all. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now, kind of like seeing, learning, exploring life, exploring new endeavors and entrepreneurial journeys and projects, but having less chips on the table, having less outcome dependent emotions invested. And yeah, I'm learning. See the chat. Oh, it's getting dark. Okay, live chat. There we go. It's a great transition for all. Yeah, we're shifting to fourth density on a planet level. I'd love for you to elaborate, Grace. Okay, this turned black. I don't know why. Okay. Is it really that black? All right. But there's some light here. I don't get it. Can you see anything? Turn. Can you hear anything? All right. I see Anne here. Okay, so maybe it's just me. What are you seeing now? Are you seeing me or are you seeing the front camera? The buildings. Okay. So strange there. Huh. Alright, that was my little rant, I think. I'm back here at the cafe. The sun has gone down. And a quick update from Zanzibar before I hang up. The windows and doors on the bungalow is being installed the day after tomorrow, so I'm stoked about that. I just decided to go to Vietnam in a week. I'm gonna work with Awesome. Check out awesomeevent.com to, you know, help them with their online event and a mastermind group. And then I'm going to Norway. Hopefully I'll get the bungalow ready enough to be able to put it out on Airbnb or something to make some kind of cash flow to continue building the community slowly but surely. I have been scammed 3 times while I've been here these 3 months. It's felt like an uphill battle, but it's also, I think it's because I realized today that I was reflecting a little bit on this time here in Zanzibar, this period, and I realized I've gone into it with a little bit of force, you know, not just riding the waves that comes, but trying too much, and you know, forcefully stressed a little bit, and it seems to always be counterproductive to force anything in this life, to be honest. But yeah, that's it. I'll be back soon. Pamoja, and have a blessed continued day.